Youth is happy because it has the ability to see beauty. Don't bend, don't water it down, don't try to make it logical, don't edit your own soul according to the fashion. Rather, follow your most intense obsessions mercilessly. It's only because of their stupidity that they're able to be so sure of themselves. Many a book is like a key to unknown chambers within the castle of one's own self. He is terribly afraid of dying because he hasn't yet lived. Start with what is right rather than what is acceptable. Association with human beings lures one into self-observation. By believing passionately in something that still does not exist, we create it. The non-existent is whatever we have not sufficiently desired. I usually solve problems by letting them devour me. Better to have and not need than to need and not have. They're talking about things of which they don't have the slightest understanding anyway. It's only because of their stupidity that they're able to be so sure of themselves. There are two cardinal sins from which all others spring: impatience and laziness. We live in an age which is so possessed by demons that soon we shall only be able to do goodness and justice in the deepest secrecy as if it were a crime. From a certain point onward there is no longer any turning back. That is the point that must be reached. I do not read advertisements. I would spend all of my time wanting things. Productivity is being able to do things that you were never able to do before. There is an infinite amount of hope in the universe, but not for us. If you become involved with me, you will be throwing yourself into the abyss. There are only two things, truth and lies. Truth is indivisible, hence it cannot recognize itself. Anyone who wants to recognize it has to be a lie. The mediation by the serpent was necessary. Evil can seduce man, but cannot become man. I cannot make you understand. I cannot make anyone understand what is happening inside me. I cannot even explain it to myself. All language is but a poor translation. Only the moment counts. It determines life. Not everyone can see the truth, but he can be it. Isolation is a way to know ourselves. Do not waste your time looking for an obstacle, maybe there is none. I have spent my life resisting the desire to end it. I do not see the world at all, I invent it. God gives the nuts, but he does not crack them. He who seeks does not find, but he who does not seek will be found. The meaning of life is that it stops. I have the true feeling of myself only when I am unbearably unhappy. A first sign of the beginning of understanding is the wish to die. Idleness is the beginning of all vice, the crown of all virtues. Slept, awoke, miserable life. I am free, and that is why I am lost. You can choose to be free, but it's last decision you'll ever make. I am a cage in search of a bird. I no longer longer know if I wish to drown myself in love, vodka, or the sea. Everything that you love, you will eventually lose, but in the end, love will return in a different form. I can love only what I can place so high above me that I cannot reach it. I'm tired, can't think of anything, and want only to lay my face in your lap, feel your hand on my head, and remain like that through all eternity. In argument, similes are like songs in love. They describe much, but prove nothing. A book must be the axe for the frozen sea within us. Writing is utter solitude, the descent into the cold abyss of oneself. I think we ought to read only the kind of books that wound and stab us. One advantage in keeping a diary is that you become aware with reassuring clarity of the changes which you constantly suffer. I write differently from what I speak differently from what I think differently from the way I ought to think, and so it all proceeds into deepest darkness. A lawyer is a person who writes a 10,000-word document and calls it a brief. If you find someone who makes you smile, who checks up on you often to see if you're okay, who watches out for you and wants the best for you, who loves and respects you, don't let them go. People like that are hard to find.